Hello, welcome to My Place with Pastor Corey. I'm Pastor Corey, and we are in a study of Hebrews, and today we're going to start Hebrews chapter 1. And it's Hebrews 1, or Hebrews 7, verse 1 to 10. And it says this: For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him, to whom also Abraham gave a tenth part of all, first being translated King of Righteousness, and then also King of Salem, meaning King of Peace, without father, without mother, without genealogy, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like the Son of God, remains a priest continually. That's all a description of Melchizedek. Verse 4. Now consider how great this man was, to whom even the patriarch Abraham gave a tenth of the spoils. And indeed those who are of the sons of Levi, who receive the priesthood, have a commandment to receive tithes from the people according to the law, that is, from their brethren, though they have come from the loins of Abraham. But he whose genealogy is not derived from them received tithes from Abraham, and blessed him who had the promises. Now beyond all contradiction, the lesser is blessed by the better. Here mortal men receive their tithes, but there he receives them, but of whom it is witnessed that he lives. Even Levi, who receives tithes, paid tithes through Abraham, so to speak, for he was still in the loins of his father when Melchizedek met him. Well, yay. God led me to get into a tough one today. I hope you note the sarcasm there. It is not tough because it is a difficult doctrine, but it is difficult because people don't like the topic. Tithing. Is it right? Is it wrong? Does it even have a place in the era of grace? Is it an old covenant thing, not a new covenant thing? Well, it is simple. God instituted the tithe long before there were any laws about it. You could even look at it that the tithes were right from creation. You know, the story of Cain and Abel. There are some that will say that Abel was bringing the tithe to God and Cain was not. I don't know. It doesn't say it directly like that in the scriptures, but it can definitely be read into. The promises that are tied to tithing still hold true today. And it's very important to note that the people of Israel were commanded to tithe toward the Levites, which are a part of the people of Israel. But Abraham tithed to someone outside of that line. It was someone who he saw as, like the scripture says here in Hebrews 7, that he was like the Son of God, and that he was a priest of righteousness and a priest of Salem, of peace. It has always been said that Melchizedek was a type of Christ, that it represented Christ in the Old Covenant, and we can go into those topics. Like I said yesterday, I could preach a huge message on this, but I'm not. I'm just going to touch on it. I like to look at it in the context of sowing and reaping. God instituted sowing and reaping right at creation. And the principle behind it all continues to this day. Like we're in Manning here, where we are at, it's now the time of seeding, and the farmers are out there putting their seed into the ground so that in the fall they'll receive their crop. And it's something that's still there. So my thoughts on tithing are very simple. You can't reap what you haven't sown. A farmer cannot come in at the fall and say, well, why didn't I get any wheat when I didn't plant any wheat? He has to plant it in order to get it. Therefore, sow and you will reap. And that's God's promise, not mine. And his promises are based, just look at the videos from yesterday and the day before, and we talk about the promises of God and how they are instituted on his name, on his reputation. And then in Malachi chapter 3, it says, test him, give him the tithe, and he will pour out his blessings. Now, there's so many different debates we could get into in regards to whether that will be financial blessings or other types of blessings, but we don't need to get into those debates. Test him, tithe to him, and see what happens. Have faith when you tithe. Have faith, hope in it. Do everything you can to get his blessings. That's what we talked about 3 days ago. Do everything you can to receive his blessings. So why are we kicking against it when it comes time to tithe? God promised that if we tithe, we'll be blessed. So therefore, if you're wanting the blessings, why not tithe? It's very simple. God bless you richly. We'll see you again next time.